there's lessons to be learned, as individuals, as we teach others as well. All right. Can y'all put the title up real quick? The title is called "When Vices Becomes the Prison." All right. I sent y'all a definition of vice. Can y'all pull it up for me real quick for anybody that doesn't know what a vice is? I think I got another one too, but we'll pull that one up first. Who read? Got the mighty officer Nation over there. All praises in the spirit of the Lord. Oh, there go my wife walking in late. Look at her, y'all. Everybody take a look at her. She walking in late. It's 2 o'clock. Gotta get them, y'all. Add a little mercy on her. She a little pregnant right now, so we have a little mercy on her. A little bit of mercy. All right. We still waiting on the definition of vice, but let's see what scripture I want to start with. Give me Romans 15:4 real quick. So, what inspired the class? I was confused between a few topics. One of the topics was going to be when comfort becomes the cage, right? Because before you get to a vice or before a vice takes presence in our life, we usually find comfort in certain things. And a lot of time the comfort that we find in these certain things comes from the trauma that we experience in our life, whether it was the trauma in your household, maybe you had bad parents, maybe you went through a traumatic event and it caused you to find something, to find pleasure in certain things, whether that be food for some people who love to eat. Some of us have a fear of standing out or being that voice that the Lord calls you to be. It could be many different things. Alcohol, brothers turn to alcohol when they go through depression or whatever. So that's what inspired the cast. Now we can get the definition. That'll be lovely. Y'all have mercy on IT. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be in the spirit the day they rolling. All praises. They're going to do an excellent job. We trying to figure it out. Read Romans 15:4 real quick.
Romans chapter 15, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
So all in all, whatever we're dealing with in life, our comfort, each and every one of our comforts is supposed to come from the scriptures, And like I said, many of us have experienced some traumatic things in life, but the things that are written aforetime are supposed to come from the Bible. But you're not going to be able to find comfort in the scriptures, Revelation 1 and 3, if we not read. So each and every individual in here, y'all should be reading y'all 4 chapters a day. Y'all should be studying, because if you're not, you're not going to have anything to pull from when you need it. Revelation 1 and 3.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
And keep those things which are written therein.
So the scriptures say, blessed is he that readeth. So the first thing that we got to do if we want to overcome some of the comforts and addictions that we have in this life, we got to read. And then once you're reading, it say you got to keep those things which are written. And this is what Christians don't do. Christians read the Bible all day, but they don't keep no Sabbath days. A lot of them just celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday. They worship on Sunday. They believe that Jesus Christ is a white man. A lot of them still wear pants. They still smoking weed. They do whatever they want to do. But what separates us from them is not only do we hear the words of God, but we apply the words to our life. All right, y'all got a definition yet? Still waiting on it. All right, we're going to get through it, y'all. Give me James 1 and verse 14. So we're going to talk about where the addictions and the comforts come from that we seek on a day-to-day basis, or that we have today.
James chapter 1, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
Mm-hmm.
And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
So sin or vices is the end game. There's a process that happens before we create or come up with these vices in our life. A lot of times, it may be something we watch, or even like just say if you had a parent who wasn't as loving or didn't show you as much care. That seed was planted in you at that time, and then you have a child, And the tendencies that you picked up from your mother, you do the same thing with your child. So the seed was planted way back then, but through you, it conceived. So vices happen over time. They don't happen overnight. And a lot of the things that we find comfort in these things because of years of experience that we have within those things. Give me Psalms 51 and verse 5. Psalms 51 and verse 5. Because a lot of us, like King Solomon and King David, we was born in iniquity. We was born in a world where we celebrated Christmas. Some of us came into this world through parents who were not married, who committed adultery. Some of us had broken homes where our mother just raised us or we was just there with our father. So our conception in this world is messed up. Psalms 51 and verse 5.
Psalms chapter 51 verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Behold, I was shapen in iniquity,
Uh-huh.
and in sin did my mother conceive me.
And this is the case for most, if not all of us in here. Besides our children right now that are being raised in this truth, we brought them into a world where we're teaching them God's commandments. They keep the Sabbath day. They never wore dresses or pants, But most of us, read it again.
Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me.
Most of us, our conception was based off sin. Now we got the definition of vice. Let's read that. Give me Genesis 4 and verse 7. So this is the birth of vice. This is where vice comes from. It comes from a seed that a lot of time is being planted in our mind. And that seed, in turn, gets watered. And then it gets a little bit of sunlight. And then the environment is right. And then the lust within us grows. And it brings forth sin or vice. Yeah, vice. Yeah. Vice, it says, vice is in corruption, immoral conduct or practice. Practice is harmful or offensive to society. Some of the synonyms are corruption, licentiousness, I don't know what that means, badness, villainy, wickedness, scroll down, perversion, viciousness, lewdness, meanness. Some of us in here are mean. Some of us had mean parents, so we just mean individuals. Lasciviousness. And a lot of these synonyms, prior to us coming to the truth, we found pleasure in these things, right? Read Romans 7 real quick. Where Paul said, I was alive without the law once.
Chapter 7 verse 7.
Yes.
Romans chapter 7 verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law.
So prior to us coming to the truth, it wasn't until the laws of God got introduced to us that we realized that we was in sin. Now verse 9.
Verse 9. For I was alive without the law once.
So all of us prior to coming in here, we thought that we was living our best life. We can consider ourselves alive, just like Paul. What was Paul doing before he got converted unto Christ? He was persecuting and killing the church. So in his mind, he thought that that's what he was supposed to be doing. So just a lot of us, before we came into the world, we had girlfriends, we had boyfriends, we smoked weed, we did whatever we wanted to do, whatever we took pleasure in, that's what we did. Read.
But when the commandment came, sin revived and I died.
But when we was made known the laws of God, that old man, the man that we were, that we took pleasure in prior to coming to this truth, he had to die and be put off. And that's the case for each and every one of us in here. But at the same time, a lot of the habits that we had before we came into this truth, they're like a prison to us. Some of us, we find ourselves, it's hard for us to let it go. Now give me Revelation, Genesis 4 and 7. So that's some of the things we're going to talk about, the comforts that become the cage, and how do we free ourselves from the oppression within our mind. And officers, if y'all got anything at any time, please bring it forth.
Genesis chapter 4 verse 7.
Uh-huh.
If thou
start at verse 6.
Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth?
Mm-hmm.
And why is thy countenance fallen?
Go ahead.
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
So we all are given options in this truth. The Lord said, if you do well, then sin. If thou doest well, thou shalt. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, then sin lieth at the door. What's the door that sin lieth at? Give me Revelation 3 and 20. What do you say? It is our mind, correct. Revelation 3 and 20. And believe it or not, Feast of Dedication coming up, I seen Bishop make the post online about, are we prepared for war? Whenever we celebrate these feast days, y'all know that we at war, right? It may not seem like we at war, but there's a war going on in the spiritual world right now. And there's a battle that each and every one of us is fighting in this room today. But the moment we forget that we at war, we start to drift back into those things that are comfortable to us. And a lot of times, the things that are comfortable to us keep us from making the progress that we need to make in this life. Revelation 3 and 20.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
So Christ said he's standing at the door and knock, and this is the same door that Satan was standing at. Go ahead.
If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him, and he with me.
So Christ said, I'm at the door and I'm knocking. Zechariah 3 and verse 1. He said, if any man hear my voice and allow me to come in, I'm going to come in and I'm going to feast with you. That's the same thing that was told, that the Most High told Cain in the beginning. He said, if you do it well, you shall be accepted. But if you do not well, sin lieth at the door, and to him shall be his desire. Zechariah 3 and 1.
Zechariah chapter 3, verse 1. And he showed me Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of the Lord. And Satan.
And who?
Satan, standing on his right hand to resist him.
So that's each and every one of our lot in here right now. It's going to always be that voice in your ear that's trying to keep you from doing what you know to be right. If you're studying. Now, if you ain't studying, you don't know what's right or wrong, so you're going to be led by Satan. But if you're studying, if you're reading, then there's always going to be that voice in your head that's going to try to lead you in the right way. Same thing with Zechariah. Each one of us right now got Satan on one side of our ear and the Lord on the other side of our ear. And it's a constant battle. That's the same thing they talk about in Galatians 5. Galatians 5 and 17. This is the condition of battle that we all fight in this walk every single day.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
I'm going to give you an example of this, right? So just today is Sabbath. Thursday, the school was open, escaping Thanksgiving, right? Now, we had a good amount of people here, but not as many people as we have here today. So the question is, why didn't you come? So you sitting at home, you're like, you know what? I ain't got to work today, but I got to catch up on this. I got to catch up on that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know, I'm just tired. Maybe I should just get a little rest. That's Satan in your ear. Because the Lord say we should prefer one another. Anytime that the school is open, you should want to be here. Because if you're not here, who are you being influenced by? You're being influenced by somebody, whether you want to believe it or not. There's no such thing as a middle ground in this truth. You got to pick a side. And your actions show what side you picking. So that was a battle that some people had. Because a lot of the faces in here right now, I didn't see y'all this Thursday. So where were you? Some brother said, what you said? What he said in the group? Y'all know what I'm talking about. What he said? Yeah, he had let him know what? No, not him. I'm talking about the other brother, the crazy brother. But he just didn't come. He said he didn't feel like coming. So he just said, you know what? I ain't going to no family house. I ain't going to no Booster concert. You know what I'm saying? I just stayed at home. You know what I'm saying? But anybody, y'all want to call me anytime? We here at the school. So why weren't you here? You know what I'm saying? But people just, these are the things, like, you will find comfort in your own excuses. But we've been making excuses for so long, you know what I'm saying, that it's a tendency that we have, and sometimes it's hard to fight it. Go ahead.
Test. And I just wanted to say, too, you might have to move this little line out the way. I just want to say, too, like, when you make a decision, like, everybody has a day off on, usually these days, you have a day off. And when we get together, like, this offers another opportunity for you to come in and be around people that you love, that you care about, you know what I'm saying, that you enjoy being around. I got to put the air quotes around that. But anytime when those times come about and you make the decision, well, I just want to stay home. I'd rather stay home, or I'd rather choose to do some work. Like, even though you don't verbally say it, you saying that you would rather be by yourself than being around these people that you love, that you care about, that you have fun with. Now, I don't know, like that to me in the world, that just don't make sense. Usually when you have free time, you're gonna go be around the people that you have fun with. You can go be around the people that you care about. You're gonna do the things that you enjoy doing when you have the free time. So it's like, if that's the same with the people here now, I mean, I would think that's the expectation. You know, like you're gonna be around the people that you care about, but when you're not, that just shows that that may not be how you really feel. You may trick yourself to make you believe that you feel that way, but your actions show something different. You got to consider that.
And that's all we have to go off of, you know, because a lot of times we say a lot of things with our mouth, but then when you look at that person's action, they don't really line up. So should we believe what you say or what you do? You got to believe what you do. Oh, Zephaniah 2:1. Yeah, somebody lying. Zephaniah 2:1, real quick, you know, and that's why I say we got to read, because if you're reading these things, then though that thought may pop up, you know what? Maybe I should stay at home. Based off your reading, you're going to understand where you need to be if you believe that. Zephaniah 2:1.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So the world knows, the world teaches us and shows us every day that we are a nation not desired. So why wouldn't you want to be around your people unless you are part of that nation that don't desire us? Because all Israel ain't of Israel, if y'all didn't know. You know, we was talking earlier, you know, and a lot of time we talk about the Christians and how they don't understand this and don't understand that. But you got Israelites. Y'all know that the judgment of the Lord is going to start right here first. And it's going to be people in here with fringes on, border the blue, keeping the Sabbath, and they not going to make it because they sincerely not trying to get themselves together. They found comfort in just coming to hold up a seat. That's a prison, because if you here thinking that you're going to make it to the kingdom of heaven by not fixing your life, you deceiving yourself.
Just keep in mind that all throughout the entire Bible, everybody that you read about being evil, being wicked, that God hate, majority of them have fringes on. They're keeping the Sabbath. Pretty much all of them were wearing fringes. They was keeping the Sabbath. That lets you know, like, there's a higher standard, or it's more beyond just these outward things. Like, we got to fix things inwardly, and then especially how we deal with one another is weighted very heavily on the scale when the Lord doing his judgment, engaging who you are as a person, you know what I'm saying, and how righteous an individual is. It goes beyond just some clothing, you know, what you got on, and then, okay, do you show up to this place and act like you care once a week? Like, come on.
Give me Proverbs 30:9. So now we're going to talk about the conditions that make sin so appealing, you know, and a lot of times the environment that you are in, whether it's by default or by choice, that influences how you feel about certain things. That influences your mentality and fuels how you move a lot. So if the school is open and you choose not to be here, then obviously wherever you're at, you know what I'm saying, is where you feel like you're supposed to be at. And that has more influence on being around God's people and learning about God's laws. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 9.
Proverbs chapter 30, verse 9.
And a lot of times, them environments will influence your behavior. Go ahead.
Lest I be full.
Verse 7, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Verse 7. 2 things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die.
So we King Solomon, the wisest man upon the face of the earth. All the riches, anything you can think of that you probably want in this life, he had. And he says, 2 things I require of you, Lord. Don't deny me these things before I die. Go ahead.
Remove far from me vanity and lies.
He said, don't puff me up with vainglory and lies. Read.
Give me neither poverty nor riches.
He said, don't give me not enough, but don't give me too much. Go ahead.
Feed me with food convenient for me. Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord?
So if you're put in a position to where you have everything, you would deny the Lord. A lot of us say we want to hit the lotto. But man, if you hit a lotto, you think you would be here every day? Nah, you wouldn't. You'll be in a nice car, a nice house. You'll be traveling the world, doing what you want to do. Read.
or lest I be poor
Mhm.
and steal and take the name of my God in vain.
So, and if you didn't have what you need to sustain you in this life, you would steal. So a lot of us, we wonder why we don't have more or we desire more. He's telling you right here, because if the Lord gave you more, you wouldn't be here. So he keep you right where you need to be. You got just enough money to pay your bills and make it to the school every Sabbath. You got just enough to do what you need to do. Because if I give you any more, you won't serve me. And that's the case for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Some of the richest people are some of the most miserable people. So you think that just because you got a lot of money, you're going to be happy. No, it's the opposite. You're going to be miserable. Our joy should come from serving the Lord. Jeremiah 17 and verse 4. So, when you look at us in Egypt, right? Well, we're going to talk about Babylon for a second, right? We don't have a heritage right now. Right now, we're in the midst of restoring our heritage. We understand that we the Israelites. We understand that we got to keep God's commandments, and there's a certain way that we have to live, right? Jeremiah 17 and verse 4.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
So the question is, why did the Lord tell Jeremiah to tell us that we was going to discontinue from our heritage? Verse 1.
Verse 1. The sin of Judah.
The what?
The sin of Judah
Mm-hmm.
is written with a pen of iron
Mm-hmm.
and with a point of a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars.
So he said the sin of Judah is the sins of us is written upon tables of iron. Now, when you take a point of a diamond and write something on a table of a stone, is it hard to get that off? Is it easy to get it off? It's gonna be impossible to get it off. So he said our sins are engraven in us. Now, verse 4.
Verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
Mm-hmm.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
So the reason we don't have a heritage now is because we sinned against God. But what conditions created this sin? Give me 1 Kings 8. And we're going to read verse 46 and 47.
1 Kings chapter 8, verse 46.
Uh-huh.
If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy far or near.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, if they shall bethink themselves.
That's what each and every one of us right now in this room have done. We have bethought ourselves. We understand who we are. And we're starting to do the things that's necessary for us to get the kingdom again. Can you read?
In the land whither they were carried captives.
Mm-hmm.
And repent.
And do what?
Repent.
Uh-huh.
And make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them away captives, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely.
Mm-hmm.
We have committed wickedness.
So that's what we're doing right now. But what caused us to get to this point? Read verse 37.
Verse 37. If there be in the land famine.
So God said, if you're ever in a place, or when we was at this time we was in this place, he said, if there be in this land famine, go ahead.
If there be pestilence. Blasting. Mildew. Locust. Or if there be caterpillar.
So mildew, locust, and caterpillar, they affected how our crops grew. So he said, if you're in a place and all these things starting to happen to you, keep reading.
If their enemy besiege them in the land of their cities.
If our enemies come against us, go ahead.
Whatsoever plague, whatsoever sickness there be.
So any plague or sickness that we have, read.
What prayer and supplication soever be made by any man,
Mm-hmm.
or by all thy people Israel,
Mm-hmm.
which shall know every man the plague of his own heart.
The plague of what?
His own heart.
Go ahead.
And spread forth his hands toward this house.
So what brings upon famine, mildew, locust, caterpillar, and our enemies besieging us in our own land is the issues that we deal with in our mind. And those issues are going to be different for each and every one of us because we come from different backgrounds, right? But the fact of the matter is that the issues is what causes the plagues and the famine. So the conditions that we went through in slavery, who caused those conditions? We caused those conditions. So in order for us to reverse the curse, what do we got to do? We got to turn back to God. But how you going to turn back to God if you're not reading, or you're not studying, or you're not examining yourself? How you going to turn back to God if the place that you need to be in to get the healing, you're not here? You find an excuse for every reason. Ephesians 4:23.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 23.
Uh-huh.
And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
We got to renew our mind. That's the first thing that we got to do. We got to be renewed in the spirit of our mind. All right. So, the vices that we have, they are birthed in desire and grow in conditions that we do not challenge. So, when you have these thoughts, these negative thoughts in your mind, a lot of times we let them go unchallenged, right? So if a thought in your mind, just say for example, we had the high holiday come up, and this is what a person who's studying would do, right? You know what? I got some stuff I need to do at home today, But then you like, man, the scripture say we got to gather together, we got to prefer one another. Read Psalms 122 and verse 1 real quick. Because this is what I think about, because I could sit at home and not do nothing, what I'm saying? I get a day out work. Maybe I just want to kick my feet up, what I'm saying, and rest. You work 6 days a week. Some days you tired. You want to sit at home and do nothing, But this is the thought. This is the thing that comes to my mind. Psalms 122 and verse 1.
Chapter 122, verse 1. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord.
How many of y'all be glad when y'all got to come to the Sabbath? Because some of y'all, I look at y'all face, I'm like, damn, do he or she really want to be here? It's like, God, is this place grievous to you? You know what I'm saying? If it's grievous, just stay at home. Because it's that type of spirit that jumps on other people, you know what I'm saying? And now we got a congregation full of people with sour faces. Like, if you don't want to be here, why come? You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be a place that we're supposed to be happy to come and see one another. Go ahead.
Man, I got to go serve God real quick. Hold on. I ain't pull up, be around all these people. I just want to
be around all these godly people.
I just want to beat it myself and sit down, scratch, and twirl my toes.
That's a sickness, y'all, if y'all didn't know. But and the reason I'm saying is because that thought in your mind is the comfort. That's the cage that you're being trapped in. And if you don't realize it, you're going to fall deeper and deeper into it. And before you know it, you're going to be out the door. Or you can make it all the way into Judgment Day and the Lord say, depart from me, I never knew you. You're like, God damn, man, I spent all my time in here every Sabbath, you know what I'm saying, serving God. And he said, depart from me, I never knew you. Well, did you do it with joyfulness and gladness of heart? Or did you do it because you feel like you just had to do it? Was it just a chore? That's something we got to think about, y'all. Exodus 1. You got something, officer? Go ahead.
Test it. Just like officer said. So, some of us, I know, some of us live in Montgomery. Some of us live an hour and a half away, right? But do we want to come to serve the Lord? Do we want to come to serve the Lord? That's the thing that officer's saying. So give me Sirach chapter 37 and verse 12. So we have to make up our mind who we're going to serve. And that's something, right? When I first came into truth, sometimes I didn't want to come because we had to come to Birmingham before. Well, I came 4 years up to Birmingham.
3 hours. Hour and a half coming, hour and a half going. You know what I'm saying? So,
read that.
All right, so what?
Sirach chapter 37 and verse 12. But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
So how are we going to learn and grow if we're not around men of understanding? Right? If you want to be around men of understanding, I'm not talking about, just say you got a nice profession, you're a nurse or you're an accountant or you're whatever. But that's not understanding according to the Most High God. Understanding is when you're around men who keep the commandments of God. Read.
Whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
So we have to be around men of understanding, men who are going to tell us how we can grow in the spirit, right? Because the reason why we're here today is because we heard some men of understanding, right? And we said, that sound right. That sound good, right? And so if we want to, get the kingdom, that's what we're going to do. Right, we're going to always be around men of understanding, always around men so we can grow. So it's about growing, not being stagnant, because if you're stagnant, you're getting behind. All right, that's it.
You got that the video, or I sent you a downloaded version of it. Because I think 2 weeks ago, Officer Zahia with his class, I'm trying to remember the name. Was it baptism? Satan's baptism. Thank you. He talked about. He was touching on how majority of us, the environment that we've grown up in, was 20, 30, 40 years, however long before coming in here and trying to change those things, or that environment molded you to be a certain way, right? And coming in here, we got to acknowledge that how and what ways have our upbringing has made us or formed us in ways that's negative to where we're trying to go now, and how can we leverage this environment that we in now to undo those things, right? Because this is an example. If you got it, let me know. If not, it's fine. Oh, and I don't need the volume either. I just need the visuals. If you got it. Because this is a visual what I'm talking about. People do this with fruit. You got it? Yep, there you go. So some of y'all may have seen this before. Like in certain places, they'll put fruit in these little containers or shapes or whatever. And that'll be just the fruit naturally. A watermelon grow naturally. It's way bigger. It can turn it however many pounds, but people out of to make it like a piece of art or make it more, I guess, luxurious, they'll put it in these little frames to constrain it to grow a certain way. All of us have been these watermelons in this country. Whether you grew up in the ghettos, whether you grew up in the suburbs, wherever you grew up, that environment was your box and your cage that made you who you are today. Now you coming in the truth and you're realizing, dang, a lot of these characteristics or traits, behaviors I got, are not necessarily either righteous or beneficial to who I'm trying to be. Now you're trying to undo those things. Well, to leverage your ability to be able to do that, you need to be in an environment that encourages that change. That's going to give you an example amongst people that's going to help you make that change. But you're not going to turn yourself from being that square into your normal shape by putting yourself back in the same box. You're going to stay the same shape. You got to step outside the box, go into this environment that you're not used to, that may be different. You may naturally want to be an introvert all the time. You got to step outside of that so you can grow and reach your full potential. Because I feel that sometimes I came in the same way. I'm like, I'm an introvert. I like talking to people. I don't want it all. But you wouldn't be able to tell now.
I wouldn't be sitting up here. You know what I'm saying? If I had to do it my way, I would probably be somewhere in the back, chilling, just watching. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't who the Lord called us to be. You know, and I'm pretty sure all of us would probably, to a degree, would be like that. Some of us would probably would desire to be up here, but the Lord ain't gonna put you up here until you get your spirit right. You know what I mean? So you can't allow the conditions that you've been brought up in shape where you're trying to go, right? Exodus 1 and verse 13, because everybody familiar with 1 and 11. Everybody familiar with the conditions that we faced in Egypt, right? We're going to read about a few of them conditions right now. Exodus 1 and 11.
You want verse 11?
Yes.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters,
right,
to afflict them with their burdens. Mm-hmm. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Mm-hmm. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
So we had a hard life in Egypt. They made us serve with rigor. What type of work did we do? Can you read?
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar, and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. Wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
So these are the conditions that we faced in Egypt. Now, give me Numbers 10 and verse 33.
Numbers chapter 10, verse 33. Mm-hmm. And they departed from the mount of the Lord 3 days' journey. Mm-hmm. And the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them in 3 days.
Right. Keep going.
Before them 3 days' journey, to search out a resting place for them.
So this is during the time that we departed from Egypt. Can you read?
And the cloud of the Lord was upon them by day, when they went out of the camp.
So Christ was guiding us when we left the camp. He was in a cloud by day. Can you read?
And it came to pass, when the ark set forward, that Moses said, Rise up, Lord, and let thine enemies be scattered, and let them be that hate thee flee from before thee.
Keep going.
And when it rested, he said, Return, O Lord, unto the many thousands of Israel.
So we left out of Egypt, our enemies got destroyed. Y'all know, understand the conditions we was in was rigor and hard bondage. Now read chapter 11 and verse 4.
Numbers chapter 11, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Israel also wept again, and said, Who shall give us flesh to eat?
And this is the dangers of the doctrine that even some Israelites preach today about the Gentiles can be saved. Anytime we were amongst other nations, we lusted after their gods and wanted to do the things that they want to do. Any time when we came out, when we was under Samuel, they said, build us, we want a king just like the other nations got us a king. You know what I'm saying? And in America today, we want the American dream. We want all the money, the cars, clothes, good credit. I mean, credit, y'all make sure you credit good. I ain't saying don't have these things, you know what I'm saying? But the things that the nations push around us, that's what we desire because we subject to them. Keep reading.
Verse 5. We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic.
So we just read about the conditions that they had to face in Egypt. But right now they saying, read verse 4 again. And the mixed multitude.
And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again, and said, Who shall give us flesh to eat?
They said, what we going to eat? Keep reading.
We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely.
So, but they were slaves in Egypt. But all they could think about what was comfortable to them. Now, this is not saying that slavery was good. Slavery was a familiar place to them. So a lot of times we resort back to what's familiar to us. And that could even be trauma. You ever be around some people and they just love to talk about negativity? They just, every time you see them, you know what I'm saying, something is wrong. It's because that's a familiar place to them. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we resort to what's familiar and not what's going to actually lead us in the right direction. Keep reading.
The cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes.
Keep going.
And the manna was a coriander seed, and the color thereof as the color of bdellium.
Yeah. So read Rhythm of Solomon 16:20, just a little bit about the manna. So although slavery was a terrible place for them, we served in rigor and bondage. They still wanted to go back to get the fish and the leeks, although they was getting manna that came from heaven. So we're going to describe what this manna was and what it tasted like to them. Wisdom of Solomon 16 and verse 20.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 20. Instead whereof thou feddest thine own people with an angel's food.
So we got fed with angels' food. Keep reading.
And did send them from heaven bread prepared without their labor.
So bread, they didn't even have to prepare it. It just fell out the sky. Read.
Able to be content, every man's delight, and agreeing to every taste.
So that means that the manna tasted like whatever you wanted it to taste like. But they still preferred to be in Egypt under slavery because they got free food. That's a prison. That's when that comfort or the comfort of slavery becomes prison to you. Likewise with us today. Your old ways and your old habits you can't let go is a prison to you. And if you don't free yourself from that prison, give me 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 1. First Corinthians 10 and verse 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat that same spiritual meat, and did all drink that same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ.
So in the wilderness, we literally had spiritual food to eat, and that was manna, and we got fed spiritually drink by Christ. Keep reading.
Verse 5. But with many of them, God was not well pleased.
So even the people that seen Egypt get destroyed. They seen the Red Sea get parted, and they got led out. They seen all these miracles. Read.
For they were overthrown in the wilderness.
Why were they overthrown? Keep reading.
Now these were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication.
So he lists a whole list of things that the people that seen God, that seen the miracles, experienced or they was doing while they was in Egypt. These are Israelites. These ain't Christians. You know what I'm saying? These are people who seen God, who know they got to keep his commandments, just like us in here today. So the thing that's going to keep us from getting the kingdom of God, it's not going to be the things we can't see. It's going to be the things that we haven't fixed in our own life. A lot of people in here commit fornication. A lot of y'all idolaters. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't really believe. Y'all just hear. Verse 12.
Verse 12. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
And this is a message to us all, even me up here. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm sitting up here don't make me exempt from the things that I'm reading. If we don't take heed, then we will be the ones that's out the door. We will be the ones that don't make it when Christ come back. All right, give me that video. Oh, you got something? Go ahead.
Can we read Numbers 11 and 4? I just want that bottom part because I want to ask a question about it. Numbers 11 and 4.
Numbers chapter 11 verse 4. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again, and said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
All right, so the question I got is this bottom part where they're crying and they're complaining, and they ask the question, who shall give us flesh to eat? What is the mentality of the people to pose that question? Like, what are they thinking in their head to pose this question? Or I'll make it easier. What are they looking? What are they looking for? Who are they looking for? A provider. Right. They're looking for a provider. Right now, the question is who's supposed to be our provider? The Lord. Now, if we look at him as the provider to give us provisions, and we want him to give us provisions, what would that require us to do? Right. It's a transactional type of relationship. If we do what the Lord said to do, he's going to be our provider like he said he would be. He'll give us what we need in times of need. But then when you have a mindset where it's like, well, I'm looking for a provider, but what he's giving me, he's like, we just got this manna. I don't want that. I remember the stuff, the leeks, the onions, the melons, and the garlic that we had in Egypt. Who are they looking to be their provider? Right, which would cause them, do they have any requirement or a requirement to have any type of loyalty to the Lord? No, you circumventing that. Like our love, like what I'm trying to get y'all to see is our level of dependency on God is what makes that relationship between us and him stronger. It's because we acknowledge that in all things we need him. In all things he provides all things. And everything we have is based off of him. But sometimes the world will provide you ways where you can circumvent that. And now it's like you don't have a sense of urgency to do the commandments no more because I can still get what I need. And I ain't got to be loyal. I ain't got to be faithful. I can do whatever I need because at the end of the day, I can go to Walmart. I can go to Walmart, get my ham and my chicken and whatever, you know what I'm saying, people eat. I can go there. But what it's supposed to be is you need to be loyal to God because ultimately you understand that he provides those things. If I don't do what he say to do, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to suffer. I'm going to die. By necessity, you're going to have to be loyal. But we circumvent that, like this environment we in helps us circumvent that, just like Egypt did at this time.
And that's the dangers of the society that we live in today, which is why it's even more important that we should make sure we're being steadfast and understanding what God is trying to show us. Like Paul said in 1 Corinthians that these things were our examples. So if you're not reading these examples about how the children of Israel desired to go back to Egypt, even when they got freed out of slavery, like what type of mindset is that? And we got to go back to the wilderness. So it's going to be people in the wilderness that be like, damn, man, I showed Miss America. I can order what I wanted from Amazon. I can get food when I want to. I can get a 10-piece. I ain't got to kill no chicken. I just get a 10-piece. You know what I'm saying? Just pull up. You know what I'm saying? Get you a 10. But I mean, you got to think about, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the lifestyle that we live in. You got people that's in these third world countries, you know what I'm saying? Like their lifestyles is different, but that's all they know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, I mean, not from a materialistic standpoint, but they're better off than we are mentally. Because physically, I mean, mentally, we're destroyed in America. America is destroying us. We don't grow our food. We don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you want, you can get it instantly. If you're hungry, 2 o'clock in the morning, you ain't got to get up, grind no meal. All you got to do is Uber, DoorDash. They're going to bring that food right to your door. But that type of mentality is really destroying us.
It was a Haitian. It was a Levite brother. Excuse me, Levite brother. I heard on Clubhouse. He was talking about how before he came over here, like he was, I guess, amongst in the Caribbean. They was like he was trying to figure out like why a lot of people over there like have a dislike for people over here or Judah over here. And then he came over here and he's just hearing all the complaining that they got. He's like, bro, he's like when I came over here, it's like a blessing. Y'all got running water. Y'all got power. I could just go wherever and get food. I ain't got to sit here and walk 10 miles to get water or get food. It's like just to hear y'all complain, like he said to hear y'all complain, it was just like a grievance to me. Because it's like y'all just don't understand. Like they would say y'all got first world problems. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call them. I was like, man.
And those first world problems that we deal with, perfect segue, leads us to addictions like food, we got lust, porn. Brothers deal with porn and pleasure, alcohol, and complacency. You know what I'm saying? These some of the things I'm going to try to get through. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through it. But we're going to try. Give me that video about the ant. It's the YouTube video. It's a longer video, not the short. That one. You know what I'm saying? Because the spirit of Satan is moving. America is Satan's seat. You know what I'm saying? This is where Satan operates at, right? And this is an example of how his spirit moves throughout the world to affect and cause defects within the body of Christ. He don't really care about the people that's outside of here because they going to die anyway. But the ones that he won't are sitting right here trying to obey God's commandments. So we got to really be on guard at all times because like it talk about in 1 Peter 5:8, we'll read that real quick.
First Peter chapter 5 verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
So he on the prowl. He looking for souls to destroy. He want to plant a seed in here that's going to destroy everything that we trying to do. And we know it's not going to happen, but there's some that are going to get caught. You got that video? Play it, please.
Fungi and slime molds race to decompose dead matter on the forest floor.
So this is some type of bacteria that the little smoke that you see. It's a bacteria that flows through the jungle, right? And look what it does. Go ahead.
By releasing spores, up to 30,000 a second. If just one of these spores lands in the right place and takes root, it can colonize a whole new area.
So that's that spirit of Satan. He's looking to come throughout and just find one. He just need one little ant that he can latch a hold to. Go ahead. Jump up a little bit, like to like 1 minute. Yeah, keep scrolling a little bit. Yeah, right there. So he got on one.
Days ago, a spore landed on this ant. Now she's acting strange. A network of roots has infiltrated her muscles. Her body has been taken over by cordyceps, a parasitic fungus. It floods her brain with chemicals, drugging her, compelling her to head where conditions are perfect. just the right amount of light, just the right amount of humidity for the parasite growing inside. It forces her to clamp down in a death bite, and cordyceps reveals its gruesome nature.
All right, you can cut it right there. So what the parasite does is it takes over the ant's body and it goes to a place where the conditions are just right. What better place to come than the school, right? So each and every one of y'all that got things that y'all not trying to fix in y'all life, the parasites that you're not trying to remove, if you don't remove them, it can affect other people in here. Now give me the other video. It was a shorter video that talked about the same thing, right? So all of us got issues in here. We all got issues, but when you're not trying to fix the issues, that's where it becomes a problem. Because Ezekiel 11:16, real quick. This is the place to come and get your issues fixed. But you have to be intentionally trying to fix the issues, because if you're not, then you're a parasite. And eventually, the parasite had to be removed.
Ezekiel
Yep, said 11:16.
chapter 11, verse 16. Therefore say, thus said the Lord God,
Mm-hmm.
although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries,
Mm-hmm.
yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come.
So we have a little sanctuary right here in Birmingham. We got one in Montgomery. We got one in Mobile. We got little sanctuaries where you're supposed to come and fix your lives, not infect other people. So we got to be really trying to fix our life. But what I realized, though, the reason why a lot of people don't show up is because they don't want to be fixed. And if you do show up and we get to know you, then we're going to start seeing the inconsistency in your behavior. And that's what people don't like. They don't like to be held accountable. A lot of people don't really want to be fixed. They want to continue to be sick and just infect other people. Play the other video. But what happens when an infected ant comes into a colony, they have to remove them. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of zombie ants? These ants fall victim to a parasitic fungus called Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, which takes over their nervous systems. The fungus spores attach to the ants, grow inside them, and force them to leave their colony to climb to a high spot and clamp onto a leaf or twig before dying. The fungus then continues to grow, sprouting a stalk from the ant's head to release new spores and infect more ants. To combat this, some ants live in trees to avoid the fungus, groom each other to remove spores, and carry infected ants away from the colony to prevent the spread of the infection.
Mm-hmm. So it said they carry infected ants away from the colony to prevent the infection. Now give me Romans 16:17, because what tends to happen sometimes, we'll put brothers or sisters out for whatever type of behavior, and then we have brothers and sisters that will try to reach out to them, you know what I'm saying, to check on them or whatever the case may be, because you feel some type of way about them. But the point of putting them out is because they have problems and issues that they need to fix so it don't affect the body. So you reaching out to them is counterintuitive what the Lord is trying to do in their life. Read that, Romans 16:17.
Romans chapter 16, verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
And do what?
Avoid them.
Go ahead.
For they that are such serve not our Lord Jesus Christ, but their own belly.
Right. So the problem is they're a cancer in the body that have to be removed, and they being put off for a time so they can get their life together. But when you reach out to them and want to talk to them, you prevent that process. You hinder that process. And a lot of times what happens when you reach out and talk to these brothers, you yourself stop showing up because you've been what? You've been bit. You've been affected. So we put brothers and sisters out the body and say no communication. They have somebody that they're supposed to talk to. They're supposed to deal with that one officer or sister that's over them. Outside of that, nobody should be reaching out to them. I don't even know why I went there, but,
Hey, y'all just want the rest of that?
Yeah, you can finish it out. Yeah.
And by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.
That's what happened. You get deceived. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, like I said, them brothers get put out for that reason. If you reach out to them, you end up being deceived. Give me the other video with the guy. It's a YouTube video about the alcohol. No, he was on crack, actually. But we're going to watch this video. And this video is talking about crack, right? But you should be able to insert whatever issue you have in your life into this video. because a lot of us in here are functioning addicts, meaning that we don't exemplify the sign of of a person who's addicted to something. We just hide it very well. You know what I'm saying? And what the video that we're about to watch is an example of how somebody can appear to be okay, but inside they dealing with things that you wouldn't even know just by hearing them talk. And eventually what ends up happening is that addiction or that comfort or that vice ends up destroying that person. So for you, it could be maybe you don't like to talk to people. You like to keep things to yourself. Maybe you don't like to show up maybe you like to work on the Sabbath, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever issue you have, it's up for you to figure out. I can't discern everybody's issues in here, but when these classes come out, you're supposed to be able to take these classes and add on to them by placing your issues within the class. That video, and start at Bishop Yalsau played this video a long time ago, and I have been thinking about it ever since then. Start at like 1 minute. We may have to skip through it a little bit.
Paycheck in one night on crack. So after my pay was gone, I would go to the bank and I started to complete my savings.
Real quick, start at the beginning. So just from hearing this guy talk, I mean, he sounds like a very intelligent person. You know what I'm saying? He don't sound like nobody that's stupid or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But he has an issue. Keep going. I mean, play it now.
Bob Williams, a crack user, called me years ago and asked me to interview him.
The reason I called you was I felt that the story of crack had to be told in such a way that people would see its effect, its devastating effects on the young people of our communities. My own personal experience with crack has been one of, how could I say, complete madness. My first 9 months in using crack, I spent over $50,000, which included...
Say that again, please.
My first 9 months of involvement with crack, I've spent over $50,000.
Pause that. So, I mean, what, $50,000 in the 80s? That was a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So he spent a grip on crack in the 80s. Now, you know, how many of y'all like to drink in here? Everybody like to drink, right? You know what I'm saying? But some people in here spend a lot of money on alcohol and whatever other things y'all spend a lot of money on that you probably shouldn't be spending it on, right? He not here. I've been looking for him. Can't find him. He not here though. But so insert your issue into what he talking about right now. But $50,000 in the 80s was a lot of money, right? Keep going. Start at like what we at now? What's the timestamp? Start at like 2 minutes. So $50,000 in the 80s, 9 months, he spent $50,000. Go ahead.
Their rent money, their food money, their everything.
You mean from that first time you were gone?
Yes. That first hit, to me, was so immense and so unlike anything I'd ever had in my life that I just had to try it again.
Had you ever had any involvement with drugs leading up to then?
Well, I haven't lived in California for a few years.
Go to 4 minutes.
Been...
So I got to think too. In the 80s, this was like 20 years after the 60s, but you know, times was hard. You know, these were around the time of Malcolm X. You know, but just think about the environment, right? A lot of people, if y'all were born in the 80s, they call y'all crack babies. They call y'all crack babies, you know, because of the environment that was going on around that time. I'm not saying y'all on crack in here or nothing like that, but you know what I'm saying? But that's the name that y'all got because of what was going on. Like during the 60s, it was a hard fight with the Edomites up there in the north. You know what I'm saying? So the conditions bred this behavior out of this man to what he wanted to try crack. But just looking at him, you wouldn't be able to tell nothing wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? He was a functioning addict. Keep going.
All of Hollywood was ablaze with it. So if you didn't, you were more of an outcast, I guess, than if you did.
And then you came back east.
I came back east.
Still hadn't heard about crack yet.
Still hadn't heard about crack yet. I think Richard Pryor's experience was really opened up a lot of people's eyes to what freebasing was all about.
Go to 6 minutes.
And crack.
I can watch the interview on y'all own. It's a pretty decent interview. So this was 81. Go ahead.
Feel about that?
Well, I have a portable skill which I could go out tomorrow and get another job if I wanted to. I feel bad about it. Well, I'm into electronics and telecommunications, and I've been in the telecommunications industry about 9 years now. So when I'm not working full-time for an employer, I work for myself, doing consulting and other jobs, installation.
What specific skill do you have in telecommunications? What do you do?
Well, I'm trained as what they call a switchman. I oversee telephone company electric offices, well, switching systems. When you pick up your telephone and make a phone call, it goes to a central office at the phone company. Well, that piece of equipment at the phone company that does all the switching of these telephone calls is which I maintain. The person who tries to work and maintain themselves with a situation such as crack, the two just don't mix. It's like water and oil.
Am I to conclude that you're finished with it?
No, don't conclude that.
So he had a very smart guy, had a good job, you know what I'm saying? And he having an intellectual conversation with, I think that's Gil Noble, right? So he asked him, like, are you finished with it? He said, no, I'm not done with it, you know. And a lot of times we have conversations with brothers in the body. Say, bro, you got a problem. Maybe you should stop drinking. You know what? Nah, bro, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink all the time. I just drink every other day. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you drink every other day, give me Sirach 31 and verse 27, right? And I'm not saying drinking is a problem, because it's not, you know what I'm saying? But there's a time that you're supposed to drink, and it's not every day. If you do anything done in excess becomes a problem. You know what I'm saying? Everything should be done in moderation. So you shouldn't be drinking every day, and you shouldn't even be eating every day, if I had to be honest. All of us in this room should be at least fasting once a week. At least. And I can only say once a week because I do it once a week. If I was doing it twice, I'd probably say twice, but I'm not doing it twice. So once a week, we should all be fasting, you know, and because that's how you draw closer to God. Fasting was a tool that was given to us to bring us closer to God. And even outside of that, we know things going to get bad. We know family's going to be here. But if you haven't been preparing and trying to get your life together and prepare for those times, how are you going to make it when that time comes? You shouldn't be a liability to the brothers and sisters around. You should be an asset. And if you're a liability, if you're not applying yourself for the condition that we're going to face in the future, or you just don't believe, because a lot of y'all probably don't even believe we're going to go through that in the future. Y'all think America going to be here forever and we're going to be all right. Y'all think things going to go back to how it's going to be, how it was. It's never going to go back. It's only going to get worse. If you're reading the Bible, you understand that. But for the ones that's not reading, they got this crazy look on their face like, this is America. Sirach 31. Yeah, Sirach 31:27.
Sirach chapter 31, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Wine is as good as life to a man,
Mm-hmm.
if it be drunken and moderately.
Oh yeah, you're right. Keep going. It said wine is as good as life to a man, if it be drunk moderately. Go ahead.
What life is then to a man that is without wine?
Mm-hmm.
For it was made to make men glad.
So it said wine was made to make men glad. Wine was given to us to make us happy. But it say it should be drunk moderately. Now, some of us might be confused as to what that moderate means. It's going to explain in the next verse. Keep going.
Verse 28. Wine measurably drunk and in season.
And in what?
In season,
Mm-hmm.
bringeth the gladness of heart and cheerfulness of the mind.
So it said wine should be drunk in season. The moon is used as a sign for us as season. So on the feast days, we got Sabbath. You got one Sabbath a week. Coming up this week, we got a triple Sabbath. So y'all make sure y'all prepare for that. Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, until Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all prepare for the triple Sabbath. But it's during those seasons that you can have a little drink and enjoy yourself, because the feast days were created for joy. But if you're doing it every single day, it's a problem. It's a problem. And since we're here, you might as well talk about food too. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about food a little bit, you know? Give me that Sirach, because we got some overweight people in the house tonight, you know what I'm saying? And it's not a shame, you know what I'm saying? Because look, it took y'all a long time to get there, and it's gonna take some hard work and dedication for you to reverse it. All right. We in this together. But we got to be honest about what we're dealing with. So, Thomas, you with me? Yeah. Oh, praise. Give me Sirach 31 and verse 20.
Sirach chapter 31, verse 20.
Start at verse 19.
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
A very little.
A what?
A very little.
Officer Nation, can you read that again for me?
A very little
It said a very little. Go ahead.
is sufficient for a man well nurtured,
It's sufficient for a man well nurtured. Go ahead.
and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
And he won't be passing gas everywhere, right? So now when they say a very little, I know people have a misconception on how they're supposed to eat, but you have to eat a decent portion of all food. What's like the pyramid? They say you got grains, you got fruit, you got protein and vegetables. So that little should include all of those things and not just some of them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only how you can eat very little and still be nurtured. Keep going.
Verse 20. Verse 20. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating.
And it's not just for people who overweight, but a lot of us in here are skinny and we still have trouble sleeping. So if you got insomnia, more than likely it comes from you not eating a proper diet, not eating a well-nourished diet. Go ahead.
He riseth early, and his wits are with him.
He or she doesn't wake up and they wake up tired. You got to run and get your coffee. Some of us just like coffee. I like coffee. I like to drink coffee, you know what I'm saying, right after I wake up. But your wits are going to be with you when you rise up if you eating moderately, if you eating a well-nourished meal. Go ahead.
But the pain of watching and choler and pangs of the belly are with an unsatiable man.
So people that have issues with their stomach, read Sirach 37-29. A lot of these diseases like irritable, that right there, irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. Oh, that's short for IBS. Okay, thank you, sir. A lot of these diseases that we have within our body, they come from how we eat. You know, and a lot of us. Hey, give me that video. The short video. The dude with the sticks of butter.
Buttermilk biscuit.
Some of us, before we came into the truth, we celebrate Thanksgiving and all that. You know what I'm saying? We ate crazy, but some of us, man, our parents was killing us in the kitchen. Man, I'm talking about butter everywhere. Butter, grease, salt. Like, Jesus Christ. And today, we still hold on to that. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes the reason why we have all these issues today. You know what I'm saying? Reason we got high blood pressure because we ate pork. You know, everything had to put salt. They put salt on everything. Some people put salt on fruit. I don't like salt on my fruit, though. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own, you know. I understand you got the sweet and the salt. You might want to balance it out a little bit, but I just don't like it. I just rather have my fruit. You got to play that video. Some of us, this is how our parents used to cook back in the day. Go ahead.
Start with them 23 sticks of butter now, bitch. 2 sticks of butter now. You're terrible, dog. Hey, bro, at least it went on now. All right, y'all, 2 sticks of butter, babe. All right, y'all, go up on that 2 sticks of butter, babe. All right, y'all, 2 sticks of butter. 2 sticks of butter now.
All right, that video was funny, man. They put 2 sticks of butter on everything, but but the reason why some of us had these health issues is because of the way, the lifestyle we used to be raised up in. And sometimes, you know, when you eat some healthy food, you be like, man, they don't taste like nothing. But that's because of the comforts that you have in that old life. And to the title of this class, like sometimes that becomes a prison or a cage that you can't escape out of because you're scared to let your old ways go. And a lot of times that keeps you in the same filth over and over again. We finished reading that, Sirach 37?
Well, no, we at Sirach 37, verse 29.
Yeah,
right
read
now.
29.
Sirach chapter 37, verse 29. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, or too greedy upon meats. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. By surfeiting have many perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life.
What does surfeiting mean? Anybody know? Excess, overeating. So, y'all seen that show, My 600-Pound Wife, you know what I'm saying? Or not even My 600-Pound Wife, but we got some brothers in here, some sisters too, that's overweight, you 300 pounds. Like, a lot of people have died because they being overweight, because you put all that weight on, your body don't function at its best. Now, your body's having to overwork to take function all the excess that it has on it. You know what I'm saying? So This is not instant. It said by surveying, many have perished. Why? Because your organs have to overwork just to compensate for all the weight that it's carrying. Your heart got to work harder. Your lungs got to work harder to pump more blood through your body. I mean, everything just goes wrong. So that's why leadership been really pushing, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, to lose weight. Not to make fun of nobody, but it creates a better life for you.
Go ahead. Yep. Leading cause of death is still, from the last I checked, it's still heart disease, cancers amongst black people. As the leading cause of death, not car accidents and not guns, heart disease, cancers, things of that nature, still leading cause of death for our people. And that's mainly contributed from our diet, our lifestyle.
Look at the people in the islands. Well, I think it's changing now. A lot of people in the islands, because America is there, they're starting to get overweight too. But everywhere America go, they create problems. But you look at these people in these third world countries, the women carrying buckets of water on their head. I don't know how they doing it, but they doing it. They strong, you know what I'm saying? The men slim, in shape and all that. But you look at America, 7 out of the 10 women that you see are gonna be overweight.
No, 4 out of 5. I think it's in Alabama. 4 out of 5 of all black women are overweight in this state. That's 80%. That is that's bad, bro. And guess what? What's interesting? I started doing it. I think I told my wife. I told the other brother to do. I said, next time you go to the store, pay attention and see how many of your own sisters you run into, and see how many of them are overweight versus skinny. And that statistic plays out. You see it in real life.
And that's why you sisters here have to be the example that God gave us to be to the sisters out there. Because if we supposed to be the cream of the crop, if we supposed to be God's chosen people, we have to be exhibiting what it means to be chosen. So I shouldn't look at a sister out there in the world and a sister in here and be able to compare them. It should be no comparison. Physical, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I should see a complete difference. Same way with you brothers. So we get on you fat brothers all the time. And we can talk like this with the brothers, you know what I'm saying? We gotta be careful with the sisters, but it's a shame for brothers to be fat. And a lot of times what tends to happen, you know, maybe you got an injury. Maybe something happened. And that trauma or that injury puts you in a place to where you feel like you just have to keep eating. Or maybe you got low self-esteem. Who knows what it is? But whatever it is, you put yourself in that box, and you're the only one that's allowing yourself to stay in that box. Because all of us, we pushing the same thing. When you see Captain Shim, he going to call you fat until you get tired of it. He ain't going to even salute you if you fat. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's not to shame. It's to push brothers to understand what's going to happen. Because things are going to get bad. Things are going to get bad. And if you got a family, you know what I'm saying? Like, your kids are looking at you like, damn, my daddy, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be normal to them because that's what they always see. But we got to change that. We got to change.
And it should be a level of conviction, because I know I be seeing almost every. If I'm leaving the house somewhere around, like say be 7 mornings or somewhere around in between 6 and 9, every morning I see a white woman running through the neighborhood. I think she's an older white woman running through the neighborhood every morning. So like the devil care enough about herself. She want to be evil long enough. She want to be long enough. She want to live here long enough to continue to be more evil. So she take care of her body. Meanwhile, we want to be righteous. He's like, whatever. We gonna die. We gonna die one day. It is what it is. Pay me the 10 piece. Like, come on. We gotta do better. Gotta do better.
Facts, y'all. Facts, man. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6 while we here. Because, I mean, like I said, we God's chosen people. We don't want y'all, but we got to start caring and acting like that. You know, we have to. Deuteronomy 7:6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Now, the bigger question is, do we believe that? Y'all believe that? Well, I hear you saying you believe it, but then when I look, it's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They saying, yes, sir. Yeah. But then, fat, overweight. No, you know. Come on, y'all. We gotta do better. You know, we gotta do better. Let's go back to that video. I think I got a little bit more in there I want to get out before we try to wrap it up. Yes, the crack one. She said the crack one. Don't do drugs, y'all. Kids, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Say no to drugs, okay? Really. Yep, play that.
I probably now, on the average, spend $100 a day.
It's about 2 o'clock now. Have you had any today?
Not yet. But
Yet?
Not yet. But you can believe when I leave here, it's probably be my next stop.
Hey, you're a well-educated man. You have some experience in engineering.
Yes.
You have earning power, obviously.
Right.
Why would you be fooling with this stuff? You can stand by and see what's happening to your own life, can't you?
I used to say the same thing. I used to witness people, and even people who were close to me, have their lives destroyed by it. And I used to witness people sit in these places and spend their last penny. And I say to them, how could you do such a thing, you know? But once you have tried it, you become the anchor banker, you understand. It's that much of a feeling or a sensation that it causes. It has wrecked lives, careers, broken up homes. It's just something you can't really describe.
And pause that, because he's talking about crack, right? But many of us have aunties or uncles that we seen, you know, overweight, stay eating the pork, can't put it down, and we see them pass. We see, you can watch my 600-pound wife. You see them get big. You be like, man, how can you let yourself get big? Meanwhile, you 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Or you see brothers that probably got uncles that drink and they got bad livers. You know what I'm saying? You like, man, I would never do that. But then you drinking every day. You know what I mean? So we see these things take place in our family members, but then we turn around and do the same thing. So we looking at him like, man, this dude crazy. But if you look in our own lives, a lot of times we do the same things. The finger that we trying to point at other people, even some people in the world about what they do, we partake in the same things. We in the same cage that they in. The only thing that make us different, we got friends in border blue on. So when are we going to start actually living the things that we say we believe in instead of just saying we believe in it? Because many of us today, we ain't no different from him. Even in his truth, we are no different from him. We still got mental hang-ups and things that we struggle with that we just can't seem to let go. Continue to play the video.
What is your life in now?
Well, I've been a little bit more fortunate than most that I have a roof over my head. Some people who are into crack usually pay their rent months in advance so they don't get evicted, the smart ones. Because believe me, brother, if whatever money you have in your pocket you walk in there with, you're not going to walk out with it. So
how much do you have on you now?
A little over $200.
And you're going to blow all of that?
In about an hour and a half.
What's the most you've used in a day?
The most I ever spent was $1,300 in 6 hours.
$1,300?
$1,300 in 6 hours. I can't even describe it. I defy anyone to try and tell me it's the most pleasurable thing that they've ever experienced in their life. However, I would never tell anyone to take it. But once they have, I dare them to tell me that it's not the best feeling they've ever had.
You love it, don't you?
Well, I don't know if I'd say I'd love it, but
well, if it's the best feeling you've ever had, you know what most people automatically think.
Right.
And it's better than that?
Yes. It's better than that.
Then you must love it.
It's nice.
Now, I'm going to come down hard on you. Crack has made you its punk, hasn't it? It's got you running. It's got your nose open.
Right.
And it's your master.
Yeah.
You admit that, just like that.
Sure. Some people won't. I know a lot of people who are undercover crack users or in the closet.
Now, you know what's crazy is you'll have some people in the truth, you know, they would say, you know what, I do have this problem, but they still won't make no changes. So he admitted that he got an issue, but y'all think he gonna change? Nah, but we do the same thing. Like I said, it sounds crazy from him saying that, but he said, I'm gonna go on the road to say that this crack has made you his punk. Read John 8:32. John chapter 8 and verse 32.
John chapter 8, verse 32.
Start at 30.
Verse 30. And he spake these words, and many believed on him.
Mm-hmm.
Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then ye are my disciples indeed.
So Christ said, if you continue in my word, meaning that if you do my word, you should be my disciple indeed. Go ahead.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So it's by your actions that you're going to be free, not by what you say, but by what you believe and what you do. Keep reading.
Verse 33. They answered him, we be Abraham's seed.
So the Pharisees answered him and said, man, we Abraham's seed. Go ahead.
And were never in bondage to any man.
And a lot of times you'll be around talking to brothers and you'll make a statement and they take the statement literal, not understanding that you speaking in parables. But, in Sirach 8, they talk about the ones that's always occupied in their work. They are not around when parable is spoken. So they didn't understand the parable that Christ spoke. They didn't understand that he wasn't speaking about them literally being free, but he was speaking in a different way. Go ahead.
How sayest thou, ye shall be made free?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin.
So, give me Psalms 109 and verse 6. So the same thing that Gil said to this guy, crack has made you ex-punk. When we commit sin, what we fail to realize is that we are the servant of that sin. So believe it or not, man, all of us, even us right now in here, all of us are addicts. We're all addicted to something. We all are slaves or servants to something. You a serve or a slave to your desire, or you a serve or slave to righteousness. That's the life for all of us. I would just rather be a servant to righteousness than my own desires, because your own desire is gonna lead you to you know where. I said Psalm 109 and 6. Yeah,
Yes,
read
sir.
that.
Psalms chapter 109 verse 6. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin.
So Satan standing at your right hand. Why? Because you became Satan punk. When you commit sin, I can't say what I want to say. You become Satan little boy. When you commit sin, you become a servant to Satan. Give me Romans 6. Romans 6 and I think it's 17.
Romans chapter 6 and verse 17. But God be thanked.
Oh, hold up. I don't know. That's it.
You want sin have dominion over you?
Yes.
Verse 14.
Yes, there you go.
Romans chapter 6 verse 14. For sin.
13.
Verse 13. Neither yield ye your members.
12. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Verse 12. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof.
So that's a message for us all. He said, let not sin therefore reign in our mortal bodies. What is sin? It's a transgression of the law. But how are you going to be able to identify sin within your body if you're not studying? Or better yet, if you're never around when the parables are being spoken. Because some things you're not going to be able to watch a class or read and be able to understand on your own. Somebody's going to have to be able to show you. But if you're never around when everybody else is always around, how you going to have wisdom? You can't get it. Keep reading.
Verse 13. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield ye yourselves unto God, as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God.
Go ahead.
For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace.
Verse 16.
Verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness.
And that's a lot of all of us in here right now. And some of us in these seats may be appearing to be righteous, but secretly we serving Satan. But either way, we are servants to obedience, or we are servants unto death. Time is going to tell. Back to that video.
I have no qualms about saying that.
Do you know anybody who uses crack and controls crack rather than vice versa?
No. Crack is the boss.
And we said
They will make you crack up.
crack is the boss.
Crack
Sin is the boss. You can't hide from
When
it.
you take that hit, that second voice that starts talking to you is now in control. You're not yourself anymore.
You get up in the morning and that's the first thing you think about?
Sometimes I dream about it.
In going to these crack houses, you've probably seen some horror stories. You probably have a whole list of them, don't you?
Well, unfortunately, I do. And I've seen some people as young as, I would say, probably 16, 17 years old. I have been in a crack house on occasion where a young girl came in with her father, and she couldn't have been no more than 16, 17 years old. And she says, no, Daddy, it's my turn to buy. I've been in a crack house where I saw a girl in a Catholic school uniform come in, and she couldn't have been no more than 16 or 17 years old. And she bought some cracks and left. And she didn't even go home and change clothes for her, so you didn't even send someone else for her. She came herself. I've seen telephone repairmen, equipment and all.
So hold up.
Crack
He
house.
said he seen 16-year-old girls come in with their father, and they said it was my time to buy, right? So I think a lot of times we fail to realize, too, that if you're a father or you're a mother, you know what I'm saying, and you got some things going on in your life, and you got kids, not only are you destroying yourself, but you're destroying them, too. God called us together to be a nation and to raise up righteous seeds. So maybe you don't want to fix your own life, but just know and understand that you got a life behind you that's watching you. So by default, if you don't fix your life, you think theirs going to be fixed? No, because the Lord sent you here to guide them. And if you're not doing your part in guiding them, then you're failing them. Keep going.
I've seen security guards in crack houses. I've seen transit workers in uniform in crack houses. And I guess it disturbs them not to be there because they are there sitting, smoking away. I've seen people come from New Jersey, go to a crack house, gas tank on empty, and can't even get home. I've seen people go to lunch and never go back to work. I personally have smoked crack in Harlem Hospital in the ladies' room with a girlfriend of mine who used to work there. I've seen women who will come to a crack house with their children and have them wait outside, 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Have the children wait outside?
Wait outside. Children 4, 5, and 6 years old are standing outside waiting for their mothers, and their mothers are inside smoking on this crack. I've seen a girl.
All right, you can cut it off. I think at the end of this interview, that dude shortly died after. I think like right after that interview happened, he ended up passing away. You know what I'm saying? This was in 1981. But just having a conversation with him, you would think that just looking at him, man, maybe he might be able to put it down. But when Satan get a hold of you and you get trapped inside of that lifestyle, it's hard to let it go. It's almost impossible. So the best thing for us to do right now, and what we're going to touch on with these last few scriptures, is how to get delivered from the comforts or the vices that we struggle with in this life. All right. Acts 17:11. I think we touched on some of these earlier. Acts 17:11, and then give me Sirach 21 and verse 6. First thing we got to do, we got to be reading. We got to be studying. We got to be able to look in the mirror and honestly see what faults we have, be able to identify the faults. And if we don't know how to fix them, we need to be talking to the people to see how can we fix them. That's the purpose of being here. It's not to be here and be a professional student. It's to get our lives fixed so Christ can return and destroy this place. Acts 17:11.
Acts chapter 17, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
These were more noble than those in Thessalonica,
Uh-huh.
in that they received the word with all readiness of mind.
That should be each and every one of us. And I have an issue with this too. You know what I'm saying? Like on the Sabbath day or sometimes throughout the week, you know, I just want to hit a word. You know what I'm saying? But some days like you get dragged down with work and you just maybe you don't pick up the Bible, you don't read. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't be like that. We have to be ready to receive the word at all times. It need to be in our conversation. It need to be in our ears. Because that's the only way we're not going to be pulled to the other direction. If there's no such thing as a middle ground, we're going to be pushed and pulled either to this side or that side. And if you're not feeding the spirit, you can't expect to grow. So we all got to be ready to hear the scriptures, ready to go over the scriptures at all times. Read.
And search the scriptures daily.
Did what?
Search the scriptures daily.
That's something we all got to work on. Bishop put it out a long time ago, 4 chapters a day. I don't do my 4 chapters a day like I should. You know what I'm saying? I struggle with that. But something we all got to get better is doing them 4 chapters a day. We got to be edified in these scriptures daily. Go ahead.
Whether those things were so.
All right, give me Sirach 21 and verse 6.
I'm going to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
one thing that on the individual level all of us can do is you have to figure out based on your daily kind of routine or lifestyle what way works best for you to be able to get that that time in with you studying. Sometimes some people got enough time where you can sit down in a room and you can go through however many chapters you want. So with some people in their schedule, you may have to. We have avenues to why club, like we got Clubhouse running 24 hours a day, dang near 7 days a week. You may have to be involved with constantly listening to the word via that, or you may be able to, like sometimes me being in the truck all day, you have to listen to class or listen to club, but listen to something. If you're in a situation where you can't have the Bible open, actually take time to read it, but you have to be able to discern based off your lifestyle which one it benefits you, so you can occupy your mind with that information. You can't just, I can't sit down and read today, so let's turn on whatever, sports, whatever. You got to find time or find a way to make time for that.
It's called meditating. Like he said, you may not be able to pick up the Bible and physically read, but something need to be playing in your mind to where you constantly thinking about it. Sirach 21 verse 6.
Sirach chapter 21 verse 6.
7.
Verse 7. An eloquent man is known far and near, but a man of understanding knoweth when he slippeth.
So a man of understanding is going to know when he slip. Why? Because he reading. And the men that don't know when they slip, a lot of times the people that don't read or don't study or that's not considered eloquent, read verse 6.
Verse 6. He that hateth to be reproved is in the way of sinners.
That's why people don't show up. That's why people, when we got events going on and things like that, they find a reason to make an excuse. Because people that hate to be reproved, they got something going on in their life where they surrounded by sinners. Keep going.
But he that feareth the Lord will repent from his heart.
Right. So first thing you got to do is to be able to examine yourself, right? And you got to give me Sirach 37 and 27. And each one of us have different vices. Some of us struggle with certain things. Some of us struggle with other things, but that's for you to figure out. Sirach 37, 27.
Sirach chapter 37, verse 27. My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it.
Right. So sometimes we got to sit down and figure out why we like the things that we like, why we like to eat so much, why I like to drink so much. We talk to brothers about drinking, maybe you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. We give suggestions, but until you sit down and do the legwork and figure out why you have this problem, or maybe you don't need to figure out why you had a problem. Maybe you need some purpose in your life. Maybe you need something that's going to push you in the opposite direction. Because sometimes it's hard to go forward if you're always looking back. Discipline. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 11. So after the self-examination, you got to have some type of discipline. I know everybody like motivation and you like prep talks. You know what I mean? Like that lasts for a minute. It don't last always. Discipline gets you way farther than motivation will. Motivation is good when it's present. But when the motivation ain't there, you ain't going to do what's necessary to fix your own life. We got to be disciplined. Wisdom of Solomon 6, start at verse 11.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 11. Wherefore, set your affection upon my words.
And that's another thing. We have to really desire God's word. If your desire not there, then you ain't going to do wholeheartedly anyway. Go ahead.
Desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Wisdom is glorious, and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. She prevented them that desire her, in making herself first known unto them.
Right.
Whoso seeketh her day early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his door.
At his what?
At his door.
At his what?
At his doors.
So you're only going to be able to find wisdom sitting at your door if you're seeking out wisdom. But if you're seeking out sin or evil, guess what's going to be at your door? Sin or evil. What you put out is what you get in. So what we see and what we see on this end, if we see evil come from you, guess what? We already know what you've been putting inside of your body. Ain't no secret. Because a person that's filling their lives with the wisdom of God, we going to see that. But when we see the opposite, you can't fool me and tell me, no, I've been doing good all week. You know what I'm saying? I just so happen to do. No, you've been BSing all week. That's why you got caught in the midst of whatever it was. Keep going.
Verse 15. To think, therefore, upon her is perfection of wisdom.
So in the bottom of verse 14, it said, he shall find her sitting at his door. Verse 15 said, to think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom. So that lets you know right there, too, that the door is in your mind. Keep going.
And whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care.
Why would it say you be without care? A lot of us in here, we stress a lot, right? Give me Romans 5 and 3. We're going to come back here. A lot of us stress about everything, right? But the reason why the Lord allow us to go through certain trials and tribulations is to build our faith up. But if you have no faith, you're going to be one of the ones that's always caring. Guess what? It's going to be times you ain't going. How many of y'all in here were ever worried about how you was going to get your bills paid? All of us worried about how we was going to get our bills paid, right? Did the bills get paid? Somehow they always got paid. You was worried about how you going to do this, how you going to do that, to the point now some of us, when we got issues, we don't even think about how the bills going to get paid because we just know it's going to happen some type of way. This is why. Romans 5.
Romans chapter 5, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And not only so, but we glory in tribulations.
And I'm not saying that to some people, not being able to pay your bills may be a form of tribulation. That's a small tribulation. You know what I'm saying? But we've all experienced that, so I'm going to use that example. So not being able to pay your bills, that was a trial that you had to go through. Keep going.
But we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
So somehow them bills got paid. And now when this bill thing come up again, you say, you know what, last time I was tripping, this time I ain't going to trip as hard because somehow it's going to work itself out. So from that trial, you learn how to have patience. Keep going.
Verse 4. And patience, experience, and experience, hope.
So we have patience, and then throughout the patience, it happens to you again. Now, it happened to you twice already, and then it already got done. You have experience with this issue. You know what I'm saying? So now you ain't worried about it, you know what I mean? Because you know it's going to happen. Keep going.
Verse 5. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us.
Because God is going to always make a way for us. He always do. Go back to Wisdom of Solomon, 6 and...
Was that 15 or 16?
Yes, 15.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 15. To think, therefore, upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care.
So it say you're going to quickly be without care. Why? Because the trial is going to be a patience. The patience is going to be an experience, and the experience is going to be a hope. All right, let's go to purpose. So after you self-examine and you create a disciplined lifestyle, now you have purpose. Each and every man in here, give me Proverbs 8 and 4. Whether you want to believe it or not, we've been called to bring this kingdom down. And each one of us we're going to do it in different ways. The Lord has a lot for all of us, right? But the question is, do you believe that? He didn't leave it up to the sisters. He left it up to the men. Proverbs 8 and 4. So if you came in here, maybe you was nothing. Maybe your whole life you've been called a nigga. Your mama didn't see you as nothing. Dad didn't see you as nothing. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of what you heard in your lifestyle, what you heard back then, you a prophet of God. And you the one who God called. Even if you don't believe it, because I can see some of y'all right now, y'all don't believe it. Y'all just show up every week. Y'all don't have no faith, no self-confidence. You know what I'm saying? But this is what God said. Proverbs 8 and 4.
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 4.
And I'm saying, and I'm not speaking from a place of ill, because I didn't believe it at one point in time. There are times in my faith where I still don't feel like I'm doing enough. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I don't feel like there are times where I feel like I wasn't worthy, but there are times where I feel like I ain't doing enough. I need to do more. But I'm looking at the men above me, Captain Yadin, Captain Yadin, we got the bishops, we got the deacon, and I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. They push me to do more, and that should be the same spirit that we all have. We see these men doing great works, we can do the same thing. Now we have to, because the Lord called us to do it. Proverbs 8 and 4.
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call.
Unto who?
O men, I call.
So each and every man in here has been called. Now what you do with that calling is going to be upon you. It's up to each and every man in here to make his calling and election sure. Jeremiah 1 and 5. Because a man that has purpose, a lot of times, if your purpose is great, we look at Christ, for example, right? Jesus Christ had a mission when he came to the earth. His mission was to save the children of Israel. He did know what? Why? Why didn't Christ sin? Because his purpose was greater than anything that could ever tempt him. He got tempted by Satan himself. He said, man, I'll give you everything in this world if you just bow down and worship me. He's like, come on, man. Worship my Father. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't sent me here to do. My Father sent me here to do a mission. And a lot of us get caught up in them vices and them sins because we don't have purpose. We don't have nothing. Give me Proverbs 29:18 real quick. I'm sorry. We're going to come back to whatever I told you to hold. I don't even know. Proverbs 29:18. A lot of us get caught up in these things because we don't have no vision. We have no vision for our lives. We have no goals that we want to achieve. We have no aspirations of who we want to be. We have nobody that we look up to. I'm like, I want to be like him. You know what I'm saying? I want to do what he do. I want to do what he do. I do it all the time. Each one of the captains and the deacons, there's something in them that I like that I try to mimic. Hitting the table. Who y'all think we get that from? Bishop Kamnai. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We mimic our fathers because that's who we come from. So y'all should be doing the same thing. We should be zealous for this truth. 29:18.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
So y'all got to get some vision. You got to find purpose in this truth because a man that moves with purpose is not going to be distracted by all these things out here in the world. In Revelation 14:4, it talk about the 144,000. They're not going to be defiled with women because they understand the purpose. They understand what God called them to do. We got to understand that. So purpose, we got to have purpose. Ministry.
You want to Jeremiah also?
Yeah, finish it out.
Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
So that's what we are. We are all prophets. We are all prophets of God in here. And our job is to root out. Read verse 10.
Verse 10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out and to pull down and to destroy.
And to do what?
Destroy and to throw down. To build and to plant.
So not only do we got to tear down and all that good stuff, but we got to be able to build and plant. We got to become teachers. We have to become instructors. If y'all got families in here, you got to be teaching your wife. You got to be teaching your children. If you don't have a family, hopefully you aspire to have one. Hopefully you sisters want to get married if you in here and you single. Because what's the point? Why were the women created anyway? To be a helpmeet to a man. So why be here if you're not going to get married? Why be here sitting in the seat if you're not trying to build a nation? That's what this is about. Tobit 8 from that point. Tobit 8. Since I said something about the sisters. No. So all you sisters in here that ain't married, hopefully y'all plan on getting married. And no, Genesis 2:18. Why is it important? Because the woman was created to be a helpmeet to a man. I made that statement earlier. Read that, Genesis 2:18.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. And the Lord said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground, the Lord God formed every beast.
So he said he was going to make him a helpmeet for him. So a woman's job is to be a helpmeet to a man. So let's say maybe you grew up in a household where you didn't have a mother or father, so you don't know how to be a good woman. Titus 2. The purpose of you being here is to learn from the women who are wives, who are mothers, on how to be a good woman. You can't use your past life as an excuse for you to continue in that same path. Otherwise, what's the purpose of you being here? Titus 2.
Titus chapter 2, verse 3. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women.
That they may teach the women who are not married, who are not wives, who are not mothers. Go ahead.
To be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed.
So that's the job of a woman. If you here, you should be aspiring to be like the women that God calls you to be. 1 Timothy 5:14. You should be aspiring to be married and raise a family. That's what we was called here to do. But when they get in that family, you know, the men, if you haven't been studying, if you haven't been put in the position to where you're trying to understand what it means to be a husband and to be a father, what are you going to do to that family? You're going to destroy that family. So it works both ways. Before we can come together as a nation, we have to fix our lives individually. We got to come out of them vices and them cages that we've been boxed in. Then when we fix our lives, we come together and we make the nation of Israel. 1 Timothy 5, I think it's 14.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 14. I would therefore that the younger women marry,
Right.
bear children, guard the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
Right. So enough with the women. You know what I'm saying? So get in the Ladies in Waiting program, get your life together, get married. Same thing with the men, all right? We're going to get ready to close it out. Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than an emotion.
Right.
She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of God.
So if you in this room, to a degree, that breath has been breathed into you some type of way. Now, what you do to manifest it or continue to bring it forth, that's on you. But you're in here because that wisdom is within you. But it's your job to grow it. Read.
A pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her.
It said it's in pure influence. So regardless of what issues we had in our life or what things that we're going to face that's going to try to come against the word of God, it said the wisdom of God is a pure influence, and it's not going to allow a defiled thing to be in its presence. So if you're dealing with alcoholism, if you got a problem with overeating or porn or whatever, you know what I'm saying? The only reason that issue can stay within you is if you don't have enough wisdom in you. That bad is outweighing that good. Go ahead.
Verse 26. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light. The unspotted mirror.
The what?
The unspotted mirror of the power of God. And the image of his goodness.
Y'all ever go in the mirror and you got, I know some of y'all bathroom probably got the little toothpaste on there, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a spotted mirror, right? But God say the Bible is an unspotted mirror. Now, if you're reading the Bible and you paying attention, you're going to be able to see all your flaws and what you need to fix. If you're reading and paying attention and trying to fix it. Keep going.
Verse 27. And being but one, she can do all things. And remaining in herself, she maketh all things new. And in all ages entering into holy souls.
So wisdom enters the holy soul through all ages. We've been here many times before. And none of us knew each other before coming here, but somehow we all back here together. And the only thing that brought us together is the Bible, is the wisdom. If it weren't for the Bible, I probably wouldn't know none of y'all in here. But because of the scriptures, we all gather together because of God's spirit that he put back in the earth. Keep going.
She maketh them friends of God.
She maketh them what?
Friends of God.
So the only reason that we friends and we got a relationship with God is because of the spirit that's in this room. Go ahead.
And prophets. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom.
Go ahead.
For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of stars. Being compared with the light, she is found before it.
Go ahead.
For after this cometh night.
So after this, after all this wisdom we just read, it said after this cometh night. Give me Proverbs 4:19. What is the night that's being referred to in this verse? What is the light? What is it though? It's the laws of God. So if light is a law, what would night be? It will be wickedness, right? Proverbs 4:19.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble.
Go back. It said read verse 30 again.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7, verse 30. For after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom.
So whatever it is that we struggle with, or whatever cage or comfort that we have that we can't, that we seem to can't get rid of, it said vice shall not prevail against wisdom. The only reason you're stuck in that cage is because you want to be. It's not because you're not. It's not because you can't come out of it. Because the scriptures say that vice shall not prevail against wisdom. So the choice is yours. Do you want to stay in that prison or do you want to come out? If you want to come out, you better learn to apply God's laws to your life, love God's people, and anytime opportunity to present itself for you to be around, this is what you should be. We all have to become addicted to self-improvement. Last scripture, 1 Corinthians 16 and 15. This is what we should be addicted to.
1 Corinthians chapter 16 and verse 15. I beseech you, brethren, ye know the house of Stephanus, that it is the first fruits of Achaia.
It said the house of Stephanus, implying that this is a man and a woman, and maybe they had children. Who knows? Go ahead.
And that they have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints.
They did what?
Addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints.
So if we're going to be addicted to anything, we need to be addicted to serving God. And if y'all ain't got nothing else, that's going to conclude my class, y'all. Happy Sabbath. All praise.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endured.